Shocker wins at the Oscars are so much fun, especially when they happen in the top categories. In previous months, I've made videos about Juliette Binoche winning Best Supporting Actress over Lauren Bacall, Shakespeare in Love winning Best Picture over Saving Private Ryan, Denzel Washington winning Best Actor over Russell Crowe, and Crash winning Best Picture over Brokeback Mountain. I don't always agree with the Shocker win. That's certainly the case when it came to the Crash debacle, but boy, do I love a surprise here and there at the Academy Awards. It's why the only video I made about the 2007 ceremony was Alan Arkin versus Eddie Murphy. I mean, exploring Helen Mirren's win for the Queen, or Forrest Whitaker's victory for the Last King of Scotland, there wouldn't be much to say. Those two won practically every major precursor prize leading up to the big night, so all everyone in the audience and we at home could do when their names were read was basically look like this. Not because those wins were bad, they're actually both quite good, there just wasn't any suspense here, no chance of someone else, like a Meryl Streep, or say a Ryan Gosling, to swoop in and take the gold trophy instead. And so that takes us to the 2008 ceremony, hosted by Jon Stewart. If there weren't a whole lot of surprises the previous few years, this night, I would argue, we got two, in major categories. Yes, Daniel Day-Lewis won his second Best Actor Oscar, as expected, for There Will Be Blood, and there was also no beating Javier Bardem in Best Supporting Actor for No Country for Old Men. The male Oscar races were locked for months before the ceremony ever took place, but the female Oscar races told a completely different story. Best Actress was a nail-biter right down to the end. The contest between Marion Cotillard and Julie Christie, so interesting, it deserves its own separate video, and that one's coming to you just in time for Christmas. But before we get to Best Actress, we have to talk about Best Supporting Actress, a wildly unpredictable race in early 2008 I would compare with the Supporting Actress competition 7 years prior when Marcia Gay Harden won the Oscar for Pollock, while the other four nominees each won a major precursor prize. Some years there's the chosen one in Supporting Actress who wins everything, like Jennifer Hudson the year before for Dreamgirls. Such was not the case at the 2008 ceremony. In Best Supporting Actress, there was no consensus pick. Nobody had seen that everyone could get behind to ensure an Oscar win. This almost never happens, but when Alan Arkin came on stage with the Best Supporting Actress envelope, any one of the 5 nominees could have feasibly been named the winner. Honestly, you could have made the case for any of them to have won the gold trophy. Cate Blanchett for I'm Not There, Ruby Dee for American Gangster, Saoirse Ronan for Atonement, Amy Ryan for Gone Baby Gone, and Tilda Swinton for Michael Clayton. After all the precursor ceremonies and all the predictions, nobody knew a goddamn thing. I remember watching that night. I thought Ruby Dee had a really good chance, but I had my money on Cate Blanchett, who was a double nominee that year in both Supporting Actress and Lead Actress. I wasn't entirely sure. It was either going to be Blanchett or Dee. I was pretty sure one of the two was going to win, and then Alan Arkin, the previous year's winner for Best Supporting Actor, opened the envelope and said this.
Tilda Swinton.
Wait, what? Tilda Swinton? How did Swinton beat out such formidable competition? Trust me, we'll get into it. In this video, I'm going to talk about the fascinating Best Supporting Actress race at the 80th Academy Awards and discuss how Tilda Swinton beat out Cate Blanchett and Ruby Dee. First, let's start with the nominees. The only person in the Best Supporting Actress category that year I would argue had a very slim chance of winning was a young Saoirse Ronan, nominated for her performance in Atonement, the end-of-the-year Joe Wright drama starring Keira Knightley and James McAvoy about a 13-year-old fledgling writer who accuses her older sister's lover of a crime he did not commit.
Yes, I did. I saw him.
With your own eyes?
Yes, I saw him. I saw him with my own eyes.
Atonement seemed like one of those Oscar-friendly movies destined for greatness, maybe a win for picture and director, and Knightley too. The film was well liked across the board, if not loved, showing up at most of the award ceremonies, at least in some capacity. It received 7 Oscar nominations total, including Best Picture, but the one category it often showed up in was Best Supporting Actress. Saoirse Ronan was extremely new to the cinema scene, 2007 actually her first year in movies, and what a feat to receive an Oscar nomination based on one of her very first performances. Her momentum started well at the Golden Globes with a Supporting Actress nomination, but then at Critics' Choice, Vanessa Redgrave took her Supporting Actress slot for the same film and the same character, and then SAG pushed Ronan aside for Catherine Keener in Into the Wild. Atonement didn't make it into the Best Ensemble category at SAG either, which showed enthusiasm for the film was waning. Although Ronan did get back into Supporting Actress at both BAFTA and the Oscars, her chances of a win at either ceremony were close to nil, although it was certainly great to see her there to date her first of 4 Oscar nominations. Yes, keep an eye out for Saoirse Ronan and the elusive Oscar in the months to come. Next up was Amy Ryan for her performance in Ben Affleck's debut as a director, Gone Baby Gone, about 2 Boston detectives who investigate a young girl's kidnapping. Ryan plays Helene, the missing girl's mother.
It's all right, we're gonna find her, Helene.
You have to. You promise.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I will.
Promise. You have to promise me.
Unlike Saoirse Ronan, Amy Ryan was not new on the cinema scene. She had been working in movies and in television since the early 1990s, but this part finally marked her breakthrough, critics paying special attention to her riveting performance. She truly is a marvel in the film, so authentic to this character in every way. According to IMDb, she looked and sounded so convincing as a working-class Dorchester mom that a security guard mistook her for a fan on the first day of location filming and wouldn't let her on the set. One of the producers finally noticed her on the other side of the barricades and said she should be let through. So yeah, apparently when that can happen, an Oscar nomination might just be in your future, as it was for Ryan. Gone Baby Gone was a moderate critical and commercial hit, the movie Ben Affleck needed to put a reset to his at the time floundering film career. He cast his brother Casey in the lead role and filled the screen with major stars like Morgan Freeman and Ed Harris, but he wisely also cast lots of character actors too, and instead of going with a big name for Helene, he went with Amy Ryan, who was in 2007 probably best known for her small roles in Capote and You Can Count on Me. But boy did Gone Baby Gone put her on the map, her talent shining through, her awards chances strong as the season began in early 2008. She made the final 5 in Best Supporting Actress at the Golden Globes, and then she won the Critics' Choice Award for Best Supporting Actress over Cate Blanchett, over Tilda Swinton. She absolutely had a narrative there in those early weeks of Oscar campaigning that might have taken her all the way. But I think what ultimately went wrong with Ryan's Oscar chances was that the movies she was in kept underperforming at the award ceremonies, not really showing up anywhere else outside of Supporting Actress. It got a Best Ensemble nomination at Critics' Choice, but when it came to the Golden Globes, SAG, and Oscars, it only made it into Supporting Actress for Ryan. Plus, she didn't make the final 5 at BAFTA, and so I would say her Oscar nomination was the win itself, an important bump in her career that gave her so many richer, meatier roles over the last decade and a half in films like Win-Win, Birdman, and Beautiful Boy. So who was actually going to win the Oscar? Most of us were likely predicting Cate Blanchett or Ruby Dee, not Tilda Swinton. Why? Let's get into it and start with Blanchett. She was in a really good place at the 80th Academy Awards. She had previously been Oscar nominated for both Elizabeth and Notes on a Scandal, and she had won the Supporting Actress Oscar for her role as Katharine Hepburn in Martin Scorsese's The Aviator. And throughout the 2008 award season, she was being recognized for not just one film, but 2. 9 years after 1998's Elizabeth, she reprised her role of Queen Elizabeth I for Elizabeth the Golden Age, which wasn't as well received as its predecessor, but was still admired to be sure. Most of the recognition that award season was for the film's costumes, which won the Oscar, and Blanchett's electrifying performance, which was nominated at all 5 of the major ceremonies for Best Actress. And then on top of that, she also had a celebrated supporting turn in the drama I'm Not There, directed by Todd Haynes, a film of ruminations on the life of Bob Dylan, where 6 characters embody a different aspect of the musician's work and life. The incredible ensemble cast includes Heath Ledger, Christian Bale, and Richard Gere, but the clear standout is Cate Blanchett as Jude.
Who cares what I think? I'm not the president. I'm not some shepherd. I'm just a storyteller, man. That's all I am.
For everyone who adored the movie, it was her performance they wanted singled out come awards time, and Blanchett's performance for I'm Not There made it into the supporting actress category, like Elizabeth the Golden Age and lead actress, at all 5 of the major ceremonies. That's a rare feat, I would say, getting into both lead actress and supporting actress in the same year for 2 different films at Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, SAG, BAFTA, and the Oscars, not missing anywhere. That's a pretty big wow. Even better, Blanchett won some awards too. She took the Golden Globe Award and the Film Independent Spirit Award for her remarkable supporting performance in I'm Not There, and at the Oscars, she seemed the likeliest choice for a victory in this category. Awards and Best Supporting Actress that season were spread around to lots of people, and she was a double nominee for both this and for Elizabeth the Golden Age. She was going to take the gold trophy for I'm Not There, right? Well, not if Ruby Dee had something to say about it. As we were all trying to figure out who was going to win the Best Supporting Actress Oscar, along came Ruby Dee and American Gangster, Ridley Scott's drama starring Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington about a New York cop trying to bring down Harlem drug lord Frank Lucas. Dee has a small, memorable part in the film as Frank's mother.
They always expect you to know what's best, but even they know you don't shoot cops. Even I know that.
This performance came a little bit out of nowhere to suddenly take center stage in the supporting actress race as we got closer to Oscar night. Ruby Dee, a celebrated actress who had previously appeared in films like A Raisin in the Sun and Do the Right Thing, wasn't recognized for her American Gangster performance at the Golden Globes or at Critics' Choice. But then something strange and totally wonderful happened. I mean, you know how I love a good surprise. Dee made it into Best Supporting Actress at SAG, which some might have felt was a legacy nomination, a just happy to be there kind of nod. She had received lots of Emmy nominations throughout the years, 6 in total, but she had almost never been recognized for a film she'd made. And at SAG, not only did she get the nomination, but then she won, a huge shock that clearly delighted her, the entire room erupting into a much-deserved standing ovation.
What an exciting time to be an actor in the first place, and also to be in such a film as American Gangster.
It was one of the most memorable moments of the award season, and it made Best Supporting Actress a genuine race. Cate Blanchett winning the Golden Globe and Film Independent Spirit Award, Amy Ryan winning at Critics' Choice, Ruby Dee winning at SAG. What the hell was going to happen on Oscars night? Would the winner be Blanchett or Dee? Or maybe even Ryan in an upset? Alas, it was none of them. Tilda Swinton, the last nominee to discuss, of course took the gold trophy for her sublime turn in Michael Clayton, Tony Gilroy's feature directorial debut about a law firm that brings in a fixer, the title role played by George Clooney, who remedies the situation after a lawyer has a breakdown while representing a chemical company he knows is guilty in a multi-billion-dollar class action suit. Swinton plays a character named Karen, the legal counsel, a woman who highly controls what others see of her and who's plotting an evil scheme.
10? 10 what? 10 million? Where do you think I'm gonna get $10 million?
It's a delicious, devilish role that Swinton sinks her teeth into, an excellent performance in a movie with so many excellent performances. Michael Clayton was really popular all throughout award season, and Tilda Swinton came along for the ride. She made it into Best Supporting Actress at every major precursor ceremony, and so her name being read on Oscar nominations morning came as no surprise. But she seemed to be one of those names that kept showing up in ceremony after ceremony, who was never going to actually win. But then came BAFTA, there was no Ruby Dee, no Amy Ryan. Swinton's only real competition here was Cate Blanchett, and so it was Swinton's name read from the stage for the BAFTA winner of Best Supporting Actress. Thus, here it was, a repeat of the 2001 Supporting Actress race, where in those first 4 major ceremonies, we had 4 different winners. And if history was truly going to be repeated all the way to the end, it was going to be Saoirse Ronan's name that would be called on Oscar night. She was the only person who hadn't won a major award that season in Best Supporting Actress, so you could argue Ronan was in the mix. But no, it was Tilda Swinton who took the gold trophy, and you can see the surprise on her face for her entire walk up to the stage. I love the first 2 words she says in her speech.
Oh no.
So why did Tilda Swinton win the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for Michael Clayton? Here are the top 5 reasons. The first and most important reason is that the lack of a frontrunner allowed Swinton to edge out her competition. If she had been nominated the year before, when Jennifer Hudson was sweeping everything, Tilda Swinton was not going to win. If she had been nominated a year later, when Kate Winslet and Penelope Cruz were winning prizes, I am also not sure Swinton would have pulled off a victory. This was the right year, the right time, when no one could really decide which performance they liked best, and thus I bet Swinton won by only a slim margin. Lots of votes, I'm sure, split down the line between Cate Blanchett and Ruby Dee. The second reason is that Cate Blanchett had a few factors going against her that season. First, the Golden Globes didn't air a traditional ceremony in early 2008. The writer's strike was happening, and so the Golden Globes elected to have a short, kind of bizarre press conference that aired on NBC. Therefore, we didn't get to see a speech by Blanchett, which might have given her some more momentum in the weeks ahead. Also, she had just won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress 3 years prior for The Aviator, and so there wasn't a major push to give her a second trophy so soon after her first. You could even argue some voters might have checked off her name in lead actress instead of supporting actress. The third reason is that Ruby Dee also had a major factor going against her. She's only briefly an American Gangster, and so some Academy voters might have thought there wasn't enough screen time to reward her with an Oscar win. It's the slap scene we all remember, but beyond that, she's pretty much an extended cameo in the long running time, and although SAG voters felt the performance was worthy enough of a trophy, Academy voters might have felt she needed a couple more memorable scenes to push her over the top for a victory. The fourth reason is that Michael Clayton did very well that award season and overperformed big time on Oscar nominations morning. Blanchett's film I'm Not There didn't show up much in other categories, same for American Gangster and for Gone Baby Gone. But Swinton was helped, I think, by the enormous enthusiasm overall for Michael Clayton, the film receiving 4 Golden Globe nominations, including Best Picture, 5 Critics' Choice nominations, including Best Picture, 3 SAG nominations, 5 BAFTA nominations, and a very strong 7 Oscar nominations, including Best Director for Tony Gilroy and Best Picture. I've talked in previous videos about how a Best Picture nomination can often dramatically help an actor from that movie win the Oscar, especially when the competition is tight. Think Olivia Colman in The Favorite over Glenn Close in The Wife. Think Alan Arkin in Little Miss Sunshine over Eddie Murphy in Dreamgirls. A Best Picture nomination always helps, and so I think a lot of Tilda Swinton's surprise win can be attributed to that too. The fifth and final reason is that people just very much adore Tilda Swinton. As a performer, as a person, she's one of those character actors who always brings her A game, who's always a delight to watch in any project she appears in. This was her first Oscar nomination, not her second or third, but she'd been around since the 1990s with acclaimed performances in Orlando, The Deep End, Adaptation. Hell, I even love her performance as the White Witch in The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. She'd become an established and respected actress in her own right, and she is spectacular in Michael Clayton. Probably enough voters just decided to go with the performance they liked the best, especially if they loved the movie, which was unlikely to win an Oscar in any other category. Tom Wilkinson and George Clooney had 0 shot in winning. If No Country for Old Men wasn't going to win Director or Picture, it was probably going to There Will Be Blood. The one chance Michael Clayton had to go home with something was in the Supporting Actress category, and so it was Tilda Swinton who ultimately took the prize. And what an amazing speech she gave, especially the part about Clooney.
And George Clooney, you know, the seriousness and the dedication to your art, seeing you climb into that rubber bat suit from Batman and Robin, the one with the nipples, every morning under your costume, on the set, off the set, hanging upside down at lunch. You rock, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And that was that. How awesome is it that Tilda Swinton is an Academy Award-winning actor? She's never been nominated since, sadly, although I think she was deserving for 2009's I Am Love, and especially 2011's We Need to Talk About Kevin, and she's also gotten some buzz for her current film, The Eternal Daughter. We'll see what happens there. Her work with the Coen brothers and with Wes Anderson has been fantastic throughout the years, and it's always exciting to see what she'll do next. What a wildly entertaining supporting actress race that was in 2008. And you know what? Best Actress, at the end of the day, was just as unpredictable. I mean, was the trophy going to Marion Cotillard for La Vie en Rose? Or was it going to Julie Christie for Away From Her? Did Cate Blanchett have a shot? Or what about the incredible Elliot Page for Juno? In my next video, you guessed it, we're talking Best Actress at the 80th Academy Awards. And I don't know about you, but I cannot wait. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below who you wanted to win Best Supporting Actress at the 2008 ceremony. Was Tilda Swinton the right choice, or did someone else deserve the trophy? See you next time!